Here today on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, we're excited to be speaking with Mark Reisinger, Vice President of Commercial Operations with Pivot Bio, as they've had some exciting news here of late. Mark, good afternoon. How's it going here today?
Thank you, Brent, and it's going great. It's been a lot of fun this last week. We have made a couple big announcements, so I'm put in a position to talk to all of our good friends and some of my family and all kinds of people are interested in what's going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. So just go right into it for our listeners. What have been some of these big announcements this week from Pivot Bio?
Sure. So our biggest announcement is we announced that we are introducing our second generation product, which is Pivot Bio Proven 40. Our first product, Pivot Bio Proven, which is, for those that maybe aren't as familiar with it, it's a biological that delivers nitrogen to the corn plant minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day during the growing season. So there's no degradation impact like with synthetic nitrogen. Anybody that's been through agronomy 101, the joke that the professor tells on the first day is, the worst place to store nitrogen is soil. Every day after the first day you apply it, you're going to have less because Mother Nature's just going to do that to you, whether it's, the throughput from a gully washer, it could be light soils, temperature, all kinds of things are going to impact that soil's ability to hold the nitrogen in place for the corn to use. Our product, Pivot Bio Proven, our first product, actually binds to the microbe binds to the corn's roots. So it does not leach, thus it does not leave. And if you bought 25 pounds from us under Pivot Bio Proven, you got 25 pounds in the plant, as opposed to trying to put 40 in the field so that you could get 25 in the plant. So that was a big advantage for us. But our big news this week is we've introduced our second product, which is Pivot Bio Proven 40. It's pretty straightforward. It's a 40-pound product. So that has some farmers thinking about, can I change the way I apply synthetic nitrogen? Does that eliminate a pass? Because a pass across the field with iron today, if you don't own it, you're paying the co-op or retailer $12 to $14 just to apply the synthetic nitrogen. In addition, you have to pay for the synthetic nitrogen. So, this is an opportunity maybe for folks to save money. It's also an opportunity to better steward their nitrogen because this doesn't leach.
So, on top of that, I believe you had also a big funding announcement, correct?
We did. So we just closed our Series D. Maybe some of your listeners don't know, Pivot Bio is a startup. We started up in 2011. We've been through multiple rounds where we've had investors put financing into us to build the business. And this last round, we were blessed to have approximately $430 million invested in our company based on our product and its take amongst the agriculture community. For the last 3 years, we've sold out. And that is something that's very appealing to investors, of course. So we've seen a lot of success.
How important is this funding, Mark? And, what are some of the uses going to be for?
Sure. So what this is going to allow us to do is to continue to expand our field team in the U.S. and to expand internationally. We will use some of these dollars for the development of our third generation product, and that is already going to the field with a selection across multiple microbes. But the big piece of this is that we get to expand our commercial operation, and that's right in my wheelhouse. So, it's sort of Christmas for me.
Let's talk more about some of the benefits of Pivot Bio's products and specifically the benefits of that clean nitrogen that you were referencing earlier.
Sure. So, we are able to talk about our nitrogen being clean because it doesn't leach, it doesn't denitrify, and it's very accessible to the plant. You might do everything right as a grower. I know that on our own operation, we try in Hardin County to get everything right. But you whether you're using anhydrous ammonia, urea, UAN 32, whatever you're putting down, that plant still has to get to it in a timely fashion. Maybe before those nitrates turn into nitrites, or Mother Nature moves that nitrogen away from the plant. That's the advantage of Pivot Bio Proven, in that it is actually we deliver a microbe to the soil, not nitrogen. That microbe chooses to bind to the epidermis of the roots because one of its food sources, in addition to atmospheric nitrogen, where the nitrogen comes from that it is utilizing for the plant, it's eating the exudates that come off the roots. That if you dig up a corn root ball and you feel it's sort of sticky, that sticky substance on those roots, those are the exudates. Those are the sugars and carbons that the plant is exuding. So that microbe tucks right up to the epidermis, ingests atmospheric nitrogen and the exudates coming off the plant. And the byproduct of that microbe is ammonium. And that ammonium is taken up directly by the plant because it's already touching the epidermis of the root. And of course, ammonia is absorbed through the root system for the plant. Thus, you get 100% uptake of our product. Instead of, where Iowa State University would say that farmers can lose between 40 and 60% of the nitrogen they apply based on their CEC and atmospheric conditions. You're not planning ahead and you're, doing what we've done for years, which is maybe put a little extra down to make up for those situations where you're going to lose some, so that the plant doesn't become nitrogen deficient. That's a huge advantage for us, and why we say it's clean, because we're not losing nearly as much or any compared to synthetic nitrogen.
So what would your message be to Iowa farmers when they're looking at options and things like that?
So the one thing that they seem to resonate, and this isn't going to surprise you, Brent, but they like to get what they pay for. And when folks have to buy extra pounds of synthetic nitrogen that they know they're not going to use, and they're still paying for that pass to get it across the field, and you put it down, and they know full well going into it that they're just trying to get as much out there as they can so that their plants don't become nitrogen deficient. That's very frustrating. So what we talk about is you get what you pay for. You're buying with this new product, you'll be buying 40 pounds and you'll get 40 pounds because it's on the root system. But you're also put in a position to be a better steward. It's not going to run off, it's not going to end up in the waterways. It's not going to denitrify, turn into NOx, and go up into the atmosphere. This is nitrogen that you actually, when you buy it, you get to use it. And that message is very, very appealing to our customers so far.
Well, Mark, we've run out of time here on the program today. If our farmer listeners want to reach out or get more info about, Pivot Bio's products, whether it be Proven 40 or anything, how do they do that?
Sure. Really easy. Just go to pivotbio.com. There's a website on it. You can find a rep locator. We don't sell through retail. Generally speaking, we sell through a rep community similar to germplasm or seed. So they can look at our rep locator, find someone near them and ask them the same kind of questions they'd want to ask me.